What a man. What a message. Super Bowl champion Burgess Owens has a message about the Democratic Party. He's not holding back. He talked to Stuart Varney about the history of the Democratic and Republican parties. And the heart of each party. He concluded with a request. Burgess Owens, let's do this. Let's look at the heart and history of our parties. The Democratic Party has been anti-black for over 150 years. It was the Republican Party, the party of Lincoln, that fought against slavery, segregation, Jim Crow, KKK. The Davis-Bacon Act. There's a list of things that our party has done very, very well. And all I'm asking for Americans, give black conservatives a little bit of time. Give us 4 years. To get our message out to our youth. We'll mentor them. We will educate them. We will hire them. We will teach them to dream big. Which the socialists, the Democrats, have not done for decades. If you want to see the vision of the Democratic Party, go to Ferguson, Charlotte, Baltimore. Every place you see failure and misery, you see the vision of the Democratic Party. Wow. That's a message Democrats don't want to hear. Is he right? Tell us in the comments. Share on Facebook so everyone sees what Burgess Owens is saying. NFL proposes 5 rules to fix descending ratings after anthem protests. President Trump and original anthem protester Colin Kaepernick have built a strong hate-on-hate relationship, with the first disapproving of the latter's doing, while the latter throwing shade on America like never before. This further caused a mass protest train at the NFL, and in just 3 weeks, the entire league blew out in massive protests, causing one of the biggest anti-country strikes so far. As a result, the NFL's numbers began shrinking, both in viewership and ticket sales, causing a terrible meltdown within the league. Knowing the league the way I know the league, they are first and foremost concerned about the impact on their business, NFL Players Association Executive Director DeMaurice Smith told ESPN. Smith said he spoke with NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell, telling him he does not hold all power to command his players as he sees fit. Now, the ESPN reported that around 25 team owners gathered in a secret meeting to decide on how to move forward. One of the owners allegedly noted, "This could kill football and end our business," while Washington Redskins owner Dan Snyder reportedly assured that a sponsor, bringing $40 million to the league, is looking for a way out. The players also participated in the meeting afterward, all of which a productive dialogue, according to New England Patriots safety Devin Crittee. "I think both sides got to walk away with an understanding of how each other felt," he told the Boston Herald. "It was a big dialogue. What a lot of guys are trying to start is dialogue. I think it was obviously a step in the right direction as far as being able to talk and have dialogue about different issues and different topics." On Wednesday, as per ESPN, the Dallas Cowboys players were called in by owner Jerry Jones and asked one very distinct question: how do we address the root issue for the players on this? "In the long run, it's not good to kneel," he added. "People don't want football to be politicized, but there's a need to do something to listen to our players and help them." Now, the NFL will speak to its marketing team, and the same goes for ESPN as well. The basic point is that both the teams and its players must find a common ground to agree upon. Having in mind the liberals' desires to protest this could turn out sour. As ESPN states, one of the suggestions was that all players wear a patch on their jerseys, reading Team America. The idea was quickly dismissed. One of the owners even supposedly stated during the meeting, "We need to do better than that." "Oh, we've seen you do great so far, mister." Note the irony. Here is what else was on the table, as reported by the ESPN, reported that other suggestions were reverting to pre-2008 when it was optional to stand on the sideline for the national anthem. Focusing on hosting social justice forums. Finding a way to show moments of unity outside of the national anthem. scheduling events that demonstrate support for troops by the league and players. A final solution was not reached, but owners went back and forth trying to think of a way out. It is obvious that once the American folk turns against you, and they obviously have, not everything was going to be rainbows and bunnies. Ultimately, it was the NFL who brought the issue upon themselves, and they only have the league to blame for whatever loss coming their way. Had they played out this in a smarter way, Americans would have known how to appreciate it. What we're saying here is, no patriotism, no game. Watch Curt Schilling drops truth bomb, confirms Trump sent all aid possible to Puerto Rico. Baseball legend Curt Schilling found himself in Puerto Rico, stating that President Trump and his team have been doing everything they can to help out victims affected by the hurricane aftermath. However, what is happening on site is disturbing, as the aid is not being distributed accordingly. The media have, naturally, sided against the president, informing the crowd the White House has been lazy in providing help in the region. I have talked to politicians in both states, Texas and Florida, and the governor of Puerto Rico, Schilling told Fox News, see video. All have said that the president did everything in a pace they've never seen before, as far as him releasing money and releasing assets. But the execution on the ground has been horrifying. Aside from Schilling, Richard Roslow, the governor of Puerto Rico, also gave Trump the thumbs up as far as offering help is concerned. The president and the administration, every time we've asked them to execute, they've executed quickly, Roslow told Fox Business. The administration has responded to our petitions. FEMA Director, Brock Long have been on the phone virtually all the time with me, checking out how things are going. The liberal crowd loved to bash the POTUS, reporting he has done nothing so far to aid Puerto Rico, while tons of food, water, and medical supplies were sent off to the country as an immediate form of response. Still, many, including Trump and Senator Marco Rubio, stated the problem was found on the ground in Puerto Rico, where the distribution faced an obstacle. So far, more than 10,000 containers packed with food, water, and other supplies found themselves trapped on the dock of San Juan since the country doesn't have enough truck drivers to distribute the means across the island. Puerto Rico's overall instability as a country caused for this to happen, while its weak structure was a direct culprit for the massive consequences the island faced after Hurricane Maria hit. That is exactly why Puerto Rico suffered way more than, let's say, Texas, a state that has solid infrastructure as a comparison. Back in June 2017, Puerto Rico had a vote, wanting to become the 51st state of the United States of America, so it can mainly receive governmental aid if needed. Puerto Rico has remained a U.S. territory ever since. At the moment, Puerto Rico is facing a $70 billion debt, although the population amounts to only 3.4 million. Take a look at the charts below and see it for yourselves. As of May 2017, Puerto Rico got itself into the greatest municipal bankruptcy ever recorded in U.S. history. The money's whereabouts are still uncertain. Curt Schilling, however, felt the need to report things for what they are, noting the government has been covering every step of the agenda so far. The fact management was not as effective is out of Trump's power. Everybody is afraid somebody will get blamed, Schilling said. And that is causing these hang-ups. Despite this, people from the left side of politics enjoy trashing Trump, calling him ineloquent and unable to handle a crisis of this sort. Aside from Puerto Rico, Trump was quite useful and handy in the Florida and Texas hurricane aftermath as well. Obama was not even close to helping in cases of natural disasters back when he was in charge like Trump did now. Now, Twitter users are beginning to ask themselves, what happened to the federal funding in the country? It is a fair point to come across, if we have in mind that Trump already took most of the guilt, without being initially responsible for the chaos on the island. Breaking: NFL loses second major sponsor over kneelers. Dumb. 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 Another one bites the dust. And another sponsor drops and another sponsor drops. Another one bites the dust. Dumb. Bada bum bum bum, the NFL is about to bust. You gotta love freedom. The freedom to kneel, the freedom to protest. The freedom to turn off your television. The freedom to not watch ineffective forms of protest. The freedom to not sponsor sporting events that are losing popularity. America. That's right. A second major sponsor has pulled their advertising from the NFL games. This should not surprise you. Really. We've been talking about this for some time now. It's a big fad duh. According to Observer. Steve Gullifer, the owner of the Flemington auto dealership Colossus, has pulled all advertising from NFL games, Observer has learned. The founding chairman of the 17 franchises that make up Flemington car and truck family dealerships, Gullifer told Observer, "Customers and employees have asked me why are we supporting this disrespectful behavior? Our response is, we cannot." In a statement that will be released later today, Gullifer says, the National Football League and its owners have shown their fans and marketing partners that they do not have a comprehensive policy to ensure that players stand and show respect for America and our flag during the playing of the national anthem. As the NFL parses the important nationwide issues of social justice and freedom of speech, it is clear that a firm direction by them is not forthcoming. Therefore, we have cancelled all of our NFL advertising on the Optimum and Infinity networks. Hundreds of thousands of dollars lost. Each and every Sunday. Why? Because the National Football League let protesters and pigskins come before country. Because they couldn't get their tantrum-throwing toddlers to stand up and respect the American flag. Let the players do whatever protest they darn well please off the field. But why let them interrupt your business? Why let them put the league and its financial success in jeopardy? You want to be politically correct? Fine. When you are in the unemployment line, make sure you refer to the transitioning government employee as a s, him or a s she he. Or, whatever transgender, multi-body part, I don't know what I am today people call themselves. First and foremost, NFL, you're running a business. And, if you don't run it well, you won't have to worry about who is protesting or kneeling, if fans are coming or not. Because you'll be broke. Out of business. At what point do you stop letting the inmates run the asylum? Play football. That game with the pigskin, first downs, tackles, and touchdowns. The National Football League should be called for offsides or out of bounds. They've reached their ability to juggle both pigskin and protest. What sponsor will be next? Good and respectful Americans will not put up with this for much longer. Especially with all the real tragedy in the world, in light of events from this weekend in Las Vegas, I think we can stand, unite and move forward. There are far more important things going on in our country than this, and we should be working to fix those pressing issues. Don't you think so? Shooting witness describes Vegas police in a world where everyone's kneeling, these guys stood up. A witness to the mass shooting at a country music concert late Sunday night in Las Vegas has spoken out about police response to the attack that left nearly 60 people dead and more than 500 injured. What did the witness say? Speaking with NBC's Today on Monday, Russell Bleck, who attended the festival where the attack happened, told Savannah Guthrie that the actions of local law enforcement was nothing short of admirable. I mean, just, God bless the police officers, Bleck said. I mean, in a world where everyone's kneeling, these guys stood up and they knew what they were against and they ran toward the danger with just handguns. I mean, that's real bravery right there. Bleck added that there's no telling how many people the police saved. Every second was a life lost, Bleck said. The suspect was just spraying the crowd of tens of thousands of people. What did he witness at the scene? Bleck told Today that in the massacre, police officers and military veterans jumped in immediately to help. You saw a lot of ex-military just jump into gear. I saw guys plugging bullet holes with their fingers, Bleck said, who was in a VIP tent with his fiancée. He eventually took cover beneath some bleachers. While everyone else was crouching, police officers were standing up at targets, just trying to direct people, tell them where to go, he said. The amount of bravery I saw there, words can't describe what it was like. Bleck opined that the gunfire came from an automatic weapon and described the panic that ensued when people realized the popping sounds they were hearing weren't firecrackers but gunfire. That was an automatic rifle, without a doubt. He was just spraying the crowd. He was relentless. There was no stopping, he said. You had 5, maybe 8 seconds to move from cover to try to move and get out of there as he reloaded. It was just absolute chaos and carnage, Bleck concluded.